give us extra minutes to play music, who just probably jam to the song over and over again because it never dies out. 10 years ago, the song was released, celebrating a decade of this Azonto craze. I don't even know how it birthed itself, but one person who took it on in the diaspora pushed the agenda hard and made beautiful music, a beautiful brand out of it, got the world to love Azonto. Unfortunately, well, I don't know, when it was handed back to the black man, you know what happened, right? Again, I keep saying that Kwame Nkrumah's biggest mistake was when he said, well, this is the sarcasm, he said that the black man was capable of managing his own affairs. Well, when we tried managing our own affairs, you saw what happened. When we tried to manage our own Azonto, you saw what happened. Anyway, earlier on, the song we jammed to was coming up from, of course, Fuseodg featuring Leftizzle featuring Fuseodg. We'll talk about Leftizzle shortly. He's also live in the studio with us. Yeah. Song title Kiki will tell us more about the new inclusion into the Fuseodg camp, the off the ground movement. But right now, the man is live in the studio with us. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for our man, Fuseodg. Yeah. Hard. Listen, how do you feel right now when you look back at what we did to Azonto? Just tell me. Be blunt. Be honest.
Said what we did to Azonto, like
yes,
Azonto was someone
what we did.
We broke her heart or something.
It was us. So background to this conversation, we've been talking about how we sort of lost our identity in music on things that we created that went viral, that went global and had global impact. But unfortunately, I mean, we don't have those things any longer representing us strong. Maybe we do have, but it's not as strong as it used to be. Hence me asking that question that when you look back at the brand Azonto, what Fuse did, the dance, you know, getting people to dance in the middle of the street. In which country it was, I don't know. When those two.
That was London.
That was London, right? Okay.
And on the train.
On the train, yes.
Was London, yeah.
Fuse. So now the question: when you look back 10 years to what we've made it as it is today, where it's almost nothing, how do you feel?
That's a big conversation, man. But I feel like even from early, I felt like we weren't even embracing it in the first place, and it was only, I felt like when our people saw other people doing it, that's when they're like, wait, this is our dance. And then we started to own it. Do you get what I mean? So, because I was here and everyone was dancing Azonto, but no one really cared, you know, until they saw people in London doing it, people in Australia doing it. They're like, wait, this is from Ghana. So I kind of feel like we need to learn how to embrace what we have now rather than waiting for other people to then start, you know, doing what we've already started and then talk about it. So there's a lot of things that we started, you know, from the birth of Afrobeats with Fela. Do you know what I'm saying? But we don't claim it until someone else takes it. You know, so that's something that we need to do better at. And there's definitely a lot more things that we have now that we just need to think, what is it? We need to just take it and own it rather than waiting for some, you know, a lot of people come to this country to make music. A lot of people from outside of Ghana, Nigeria, the UK, the US, they come and do writing camps here. Sony, Universal, because the energy is here, the vibe is here. Ghana got this magic that people love. A lot of people come here to take in that magic. We need to find that magic. Your intro from before, I love the intro, but one thing I do have to disagree that Nkrumah made a mistake saying a black man is capable.
Sarcasm.
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah, no, I get that. But sarcasm in Ghana don't really work. I feel like we haven't got the sarcasm culture.
People might not grasp it. Yeah, that's why I had to just I had to put that disclaimer there that sarcasm purposes, please. Sarcasm, please.
We take it as you say it.
If I take out the sarcasm, I'm dead.
But I more think that we do have the power. We just need to know that we have it. You know, we tend to leave things for other people to do first, and then we try to take it back. You know, so
yes. I mean, what did you see in Azonto that made you feel like you needed to be part of this movement and then shine it, you know, globally?
I was so in love with the dance, so in love with just how everyone was moving, and I was just like, people in London will love this.
Because you sung a whole song about
me coming to Ghana and seeing everyone doing the dance, and now I want to share it with the world. That's how the intro is. You know, I just came back from Ghana, and I want to share this dance that everyone was doing over there. So to me, I saw something that I knew that the world would love. So I just wanted to, and it's always been my movement to share my experience of things. For example, traveling across Africa obviously Ghana being my first love, going to like Liberia, Equatorial Guinea, Kenya, Uganda, and seeing a new Africa. And I wanted to share that. And that's how This Is New Africa was born. That's how Tino was born. So I've always had a mentality of sharing what I love, because we have to tell our own story. If we don't tell the story, someone else will tell it for us. And over 400 years, we've had other people tell our story for us. And that's why Africa and Ghana had never really been branded in a way where people would want to come over and actually go on holiday here, or, you know, just like how they go on holiday in Vegas and Miami. We've never really branded ourselves until recently, when I started the This Is New Africa movement and letting people know that you need to come back home. And Ghanaians are telling me, why are you telling them to come back home? We are suffering.
Exactly.
But people suffer everywhere.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And the only way you can better yourself is branding. It's always about branding. It's never really the reality of what it is. It's the perception that you create. You know,
Louder. I'm on a high life agenda. So talking branding, it sits very well in my space in terms of what I wish we could do to the high life music.
Yeah, no,
but
so
my brethren here would...
I'm on your side. I'm on your side.
He's like, yeah, I'm with you.
How was Azonto being received, you know, in the diaspora when you, in fact, probably the moment when you heard about it, getting you to want to do something Azonto. How was it being received? Maybe we are here and we're seen in another light.
For me, it's just because it was already an addictive dance. You just couldn't help yourself when you heard the vibe and you saw people doing it. You just want to learn it, you know. And again, it's how we branded it as well. We simplified it. You know, if you watched Azonto with the two people with the masks, we felt like Azonto was complicated a bit, so we simplified it with a choreography. And it just changed the whole game. Like, people started doing songs where the dance was standardized. Like, right now, TikTok is all about standardized dance. And we already did that with Azonto. So it's just all about how you package things and you just take it to the world. And Ghana has a lot of resources, a lot of talent that we need to package and take to the world. And that's actually one of my next moves. Working with the label, working with new artists in Ghana who we don't usually have vehicles that develop artists and, you know, help them to make world-class music and then market it to the world. We don't have that vehicle yet. So, you know, there's a few labels in Ghana that are trying, and I love what Lynx Entertainment, you know, do. You know, they've done great with their artists, and we need more, because if you go to somewhere like Nigeria, there's like 100 labels and 10,000 artists. You know, Ghana needs a lot more labels that take artists, develop them, brand them, and take it to the world, because we have talent here.
No, talking about packaging, Fuse, did you find Azonto as Azonto, or did you find it as Asopo? Because then I know that, you know, the same dance, right, that is Azonto was referred to sometime as Asopo.
Right.
Before you know that, right? It was referred to sometime as Asopo. So you mentioning Azonto, I want to know, and talking about packaging, did you find it as Asopo when it was Asopo, or did you now find it as Azonto when the transition was happening with the names?
Oh wait, but I'm lost for a second. It was Asopo.
Azonto, that dance was called Asopo before.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
it was.
I thought they were different. Too.
No.
I thought Asopo was, you know, I mean, because I'm coming from the 80s, I'm coming from the 80s, and Asopo has been a certain funk.
Yeah, I think Asopo.
You know, I don't know whether
I found us Azonto.
You
I
found
just
it
saw
as-
people doing Azonto, and I was just like, wow, this is amazing. Like, the world needs to see this, and that was my journey.
Okay.
I found us Azonto, so yeah, I can't.
I mean, that's why I'm sad, because sorry we are throwing this as
No, but it's a
because,
conversation that
yes,
needs to be had, because we need to
it's
learn from our history, you know.
It's just like we just let it go, and we created serial mention. We created multiple variations of Azonto, the Bohe, the Kongo, you know, and all that. We did all that, and then we let all those things go. And now when all those variations came, we didn't have anybody from the diaspora to take it again and give us the feeling like, wait, all those things are actually being loved on that side. So we let all those ones go. I don't know if...
I think that's a good point, actually, because what if I never came Ghana and actually packaged it the way I did? So that might be a good point. But that's why I'm saying we always need to look inside. The solution is here. We need to look around us. There might
so
be a child doing a dance over there, like, rather than looking outside and always trying to find out what's going on outside. There's stuff here that we need to just look and just see. I looked and I saw.
At which point did you realize that the Azonto frenzy was dwindling? At which point did you realize that whatever I'm trying to push, it's not moving the way I wanted to?
It was just me going out and just chilling with the man them and just seeing everyone doing. I'm just like, wow, like I need to learn how to do this. Like it just looks so much fun, and then seeing the market sellers doing it, like just and everyone was just doing it, but it wasn't being spoken about. Do you know what I'm saying? And it kind of was seen as like a something that wasn't so respected. Do you know what I'm saying? Because even some artists, you know,
they shunned it.
Yeah,
embarrassed to be associated with it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so even artists were just like, I remember Joey B at the time as well, because Joey saw me in the studio just grinding and working. But for me, I saw it as a whole different thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so
how come all of us didn't see it as a whole different thing?
No, that's what I'm asking. Like, at which point did he realize that the frenzy was dwindling? Like, it was going down and I was dying out?
Yeah. To be honest, even when I made Antenna, everyone was saying that, forget, like, the dance. Do you get what I mean? But for me, I was like, nah.
Who's everyone? Industry people, artists?
It was artists. It was, industry people. It was mostly industry people. Because, you know, people are so quick to move on to the next thing. So I kind of felt like, nah, like, there's no way. So I'm like, I'm going to make another song, which was Antenna. And that even was bigger than Azonto.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
If you ask me, you see, when Davido released his first, the song that really brought, the main one, he had some song.
What song?
Oh, you know when Davido really burst on the scene, he had this, was it David? No, Wizkid, sorry, I said Davido, I beg your pardon.
Holla at Your Boy.
No, not Holla at Your Boy, some really loud music. Oh, there was a song. It wasn't, I think it was Davido. It was Davido, sorry. Okay. Help me out.
If
Pacoromo.
Yeah.
Oh, those ones are recent. Let's go back to Davido when he Damiduro, yeah. Damiduro. Listen to that song, listen to Antenna. Yeah? You realize that to us, and that's what I keep saying, Antenna was like an Azonto song. That wasn't Afrobeat. No. That was a chance for us to have owned Africa. Yeah. No. That was a chance to have owned it.
I think, to be fair, just like the way we've constantly said Afrobeats Afrobeats has become a collective of African music. If we had championed Azonto may just be the collective of music coming from Africa, because then everybody would have been towing that same line.
Guess what?
Ghana would have been leading.
Ghanaians sing Antenna better. Yeah. The style of Antenna music.
Yeah,
we sing it better.
It's in our blood. Yeah.
So we naturally would have been able to own the space. Like, people now will have to try and copy what we are doing.
Yeah, but I think what happened after was Azonto evolution. Do you understand? Like, from songs like Al Qaeda to Tonga, we just slowed it down a bit. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's how songs like Peru, exist. Because it's the same groove that they're using. They're just obviously doing it their own way, and they've just run with it.
I agree with that, and I just want to add that part of the reason why we lost Azonto is because of the word Azonto.
Is it?
The word Azonto itself was very misconstrued as a low-level side.
But it went to London.
Unrefined.
I don't think that's true, because nobody knew what it meant in terms of, like.
But you see,
if you're a listener that's not Ghanaian, do you know what I'm saying?
Yes. If you're a listener and you're not Ghanaian, it's just something like salsa, like what does salsa mean, right? But for a Ghanaian, somebody who grew up in Ghana, lives in Ghana, as when you say Azonto, we use the phrase Azonto in a very derogatory way.
In a negative way, yeah.
We use it in a negative way.
Yeah.
And the people who are the industry enablers and the artists don't want to be taught about in that vein. It no be refined. It no be dadabi. It no get flex. It be inkoso. Those are the mindsets that came with Azonto. So even when it was popping and people could go to the club and party and they can tell this music is spiritual, the mindset, the cognitive dissonance of being able to let themselves go and embrace it was there, because in the back of your mind, it be some rasting.
I share with Serial because we are here that I think at certain points, even some artists that I spoke to who didn't want to do Azonto because they felt it was this is like, and there were some artists who decided to go against it, who just didn't want to do anything.
I think it actually contributed to the disunity in the industry, because Azonto, well, I don't want to say it's a genre. I think it's one of the.
It became a genre, you know.
Yeah, but it's actually
because everyone was going Liberia, they were making Azonto music.
I mean, we would have made it our own genre, but I'm just saying that it contributed to the disunity amongst the industry, because people felt that you had to be in a particular class. You have to be in a particular class to do a particular type of music. So
that's the word I was looking for. Classism.
Classism. Thank you. Is the word I'm looking for. So you find yourself, or you found artists being very classist. So when he comes in from the UK and he does a song like Antenna, then it becomes it is cool.
Even him doing Azonto,
that's when the shift happened.
The UK factor of him doing Azonto was trendy because of the UK factor. Because no shade to you, but there were people doing Azonto in Ghana.
Yeah.
Who were being blackballed and ignored, insulted, ridiculed. People would post your link and say, we want music we go hit and take us to the world. That's something they do. People were doing that in Ghana, right?
Fuse, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think at some point in time, Buckingham Palace, either one of the princes or something was doing Azonto or something.
Yes, Harry.
Prince Harry would.
There was a video.
There was a video of Prince Harry doing Azonto in Buckingham Palace. That was when we realized that the thing
it's gone.
I didn't know cool.
No, but you see, that's what Fuse says. We like it when the thing blow outside. Then we now rush, but the ball already.
And I think that's been the problem.
That's been the problem. How to embrace what we have already.
Exactly.
And just package it differently.
Classism. That's
the problem.
Was there machinery that you put behind in promoting the Azonto music in the UK?
It was very organic, actually. Everything was done by myself and Mr. Hackett. Like, we literally just went out in the streets and showing people how to do the dance, and got it edited and put out, and that's it. It just flew. It was very organic. That's how we knew that there was something magical about our culture.
There were in the UK. There's a lot of cross cultures. I mean, you have Indians, Lebanese, Chinese,
Jamaicans,
Jamaicans, all there. So, was there a specific was there a specific target to any of these markets to try and work within, or it was just let's just open it up, because then that means that all cultures, many countries, all just jumped on the vibe because it was cool.
We were definitely very conscious about making it as diverse as possible, and that's why we included so many different types of people in the viral video. So
how I see it like the way Kiss Daniel did Buga. Because of the impact that was basically felt in other African countries. Even the video he shot had to more or less,
diverse.
Exactly. Yeah. But I'm also thinking about it right now. I'm thinking, okay, Azonto could have also been that bridge, in the sense that you could play Azonto in Jamestown and get people jamming to it. You could play the same Azonto in East Legon and people are jamming.
And that's why it didn't. That's why it didn't succeed.
Exactly, because now
the East Legon people are not happy that they are celebrating the same thing with the Jamestown people. Because
and now you
we
realize
have that classism, we look down on each other.
You realize that more consumers of the music may be trapped in Jamestown, contributing to perhaps the numbers in the YouTube streams whatsoever, because that was what's in vogue. Because if you we see this kind of bonyo parties and stuff like that, you see a bunch of people at these areas dancing to dance music like Azonto Boy. Back in the time, it was Alaji. When you play that song, wherever you are, it was like a clarion call. Wherever you are, you will come forth. The same way happened with Azonto. No matter where you are, when you hear an Azonto record, you are coming out to dance. Euphoria.
Let you guys educate me here for a second, because I feel like, I'm fighting international wars. We're here doing tribal. Fine. So East Legon, Jamestown. Yeah. You're saying because the Jamestown people love this so much, the East Legon people...
Bro, call it gentrification, call it classism.
It's a hard truth.
The East Legon people were not happy.
Yeah. Please, people, but it's not Jamestown and East Legon.
No, it's an example. But I'm trying to understand because, correct me if I'm wrong, which Wachi would be better? Jamestown's Wachi or East Legon's Wachi?
That's the thing.
You see,
but he wouldn't eat.
Which one do you think would be better?
He wouldn't eat the
Wachi. Your question. Which one do you
Jamestown will be better.
Right.
But he won't eat it there.
But where would he eat it?
You take it to East Legon.
Right. So you're saying is that the problem was it was taken from, it wasn't consumed in Jamestown.
It was because it was being consumed in Jamestown.
Yes.
And the East Legonish people had to humble themselves to join that celebration.
Right.
Then they'd rather bridge it. Do you get it?
But isn't that expanding the territory? Isn't that a good thing?
So
That's why it didn't happen. Because the uppity people who thought they were too good for Azonto. That's what it is.
No,
It's
because
uppity. If they see yourself,
to be fair,
if they see yourself, you'll be happy.
if we brought Gasmela into the studio, Gasmela will give you his version of Azonto,
Which is raw, which is gritty.
different from your.
No, you can't say it was. Oh,
when I say
raw.
raw,
Oh, raw, yeah,
you
right,
know,
right.
even how
But that's
he
his journey.
Yes,
Yeah.
even how he produces Azonto sounds is absolutely different from what you. That's
of
why he
course.
can go on radio and say he's a father of Azonto, because he was actually bringing fisherman music. You know, from the is it called, how do you call it, the sea?
Shona.
And you go back to Shona music, who will tell you that Azonto actually started from him.
Bro,
Because
let me tell you,
in that area,
let me tell
that
you
was
the
where.
facts. Crinkman, in Shona music, Crinkman,
Yes.
came to EL with the skeleton for The Way You Did Be My Speckle.
Yeah, this girl that came you. Yeah.
He didn't know how to modulate and do some of the stuff that he wanted to do with the beat. So he came to his big bro. He came to L. That was the first time we all heard that vibe. L modified that, did the hook, and had Sark
On it.
on it. So the East Legonish is happening.
Yes. The
So the East Legonish happened with L and Sark, taking that raw, gritty sound that Crinkman had discovered from the Inshona. And what's it called? And brought it out for the masses. Now, the dedication that I want to communicate to you is that Crinkman was sitting outside the studio waiting for us for hours.
Just so you can hear this new
just
thing
so that he could show us this new thing he had figured out. Right? And L took it, modified it, turned it to what it was, and decided that, you know what, this thing is so big. Let me not put it out alone. I'm not EL yet. Right?
So let me put Sark.
Let me put who do we know that is big? Let's get Sark on this. Boom. So The Way You Did Me My Speckle was born. And we all see the damage that song. When I say damage, I mean impact. We see what happened with that.
Classic.
Now the problem was that every artist loved it. I dare you to tell me you didn't love Azonto. You love it.
Of course you do.
Right? But to go down to that level, quote unquote, is where people had a problem. Because this is the time people were trying to shoot videos in SA.
Yeah.
People were trying to get features with Doneo.
Yeah.
People, you get it. It was like, to be a relevant pop culture artist, you were looking up, not down, quote unquote, again. So that was the problem. Now, seeing that sound that originated from Inshona had now popped, people who were actually from Inshona, like Gasmela and co, were like, oh, snap, our sound they pop now.
So let's get in.
So there were already people in Inshona on the line ready to run when the song blew. By the time the East Legonish people were figuring out, what is this? Should we go with it? Should we not go with it? The Gasmilas of the world were already masters.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
We're already ready. The Gasmilas of the world were already ready to run with that sound. You get what I'm saying? So what happened is that by the time let me use look, I can use myself as an example.
Right.
On my debut album, there was a song called Do the Azonto. So I'll use myself as a negative example.
Right.
The time the serials were done figuring out what they wanted to do with Azonto, the Gasmilas were dropping 6-7 tracks a week. You get what I'm saying? So that is where the elite classism started happening. By the time the big boys, the cool kids, wanted to join the thing, the Inshona guys had got it in the chokehold. Okay. So then comes in Fuse.
Who doesn't know
what's happening? And just takes something raw, gritty, beautiful, engaging, and takes it to the world. And boom. So now those elitist classism people here, now instead of because they don't want to mess with Gasmela, then let's jump on Fuse, because at the end of the day it's in London.
Yes, right.
So it's cool now.
Yeah.
Are you getting the timeline? It's cool now. We couldn't go to Inshona and do it with Gasmela because
So now Gasmela has to fight. Just chip in quickly. So now Gasmela has to single-handedly fight his way through the top. Without having to go through the other side. So now
here's Fuse. Here's Fuse saying that, guys, why are you doing this is perfect.
Amazing.
We are hungry out there. We need this. So he takes it. So I want to find out from you. Well, okay, my in has been disrupted, but I was going to ask you about how and where we possibly got it wrong then, from your end.
Yeah, I definitely think we could have, because one person can't do it alone. And I remember, even in the UK, we were holding it down. Do you know what I'm saying? In terms of like pushing the sound. But yeah, I do definitely think that we all could have kept the energy, the rhythm, the groove, because Azonto was spiritual. You know, it was. I don't think there's ever been a dance like that ever before, because it wasn't a dance. It was a rhythm that came in the form of music, a rhythm that came in the form of movement, a rhythm that came in the form of communication. It's never happened before with dance. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely something that we should have kept embracing and kept owning it, because we lost the evolution of Azonto.
Now, I would want you to explain to us, right, for us to understand, if you are trying to bring it back, if you've taken steps to try and bring Azonto back. So we have a sort of an identity, right, when it comes to it. I mean, you did mention that it was almost becoming a genre, right? If we had given it time and pushed it as hard as we should have.
Creating a brand, because he's done
as we should.
Tina, he's done the Black Dolls, he's done. So in trying to create identity on her question, has it been difficult?
And then also, have you
For myself,
taken steps, or are you taking steps to bring it back bigger and better than it was before?
I need to understand the question properly.
With the onset of Azonto, and then now it's not as it was before, right? Are you taking steps to bring Azonto back? Do you want to bring Azonto back?
You have to understand.
Do you want to revive Azonto, so that then if we are doing it more consistently, it's bigger and better than it was before? Then it can be a standalone as a genre that you referred to.
Yeah, I think I don't. You know, I was never an Azonto artist for me, because if on the song I said I just came back from Ghana and I just want to share this dance that everyone is doing over there. So bear in mind that I knew as much as I was told about it. So it's not like I wasn't as passionate as Gaz Miller would be about it. Do you understand? So I would always respect the roots of it. I was just amplifying. Do you understand? So for me, it's not something that, let's say, years later, I'm like, I need to bring back my Azonto. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I was just sharing a beautiful culture. Do you know what I'm saying? And for me, as an artist, I'm so diverse in my craft that it's hard for me to stick to one sound. It's hard for me to stick to one vibe. So as an artist, I have to just be myself and just let wherever I am as a creative kind of evolve to wherever. So obviously from Azonto, I did Antenna, which is the vibe. Then I just wanted to just flip the vibe, because I'm a new artist. People need to see my range. So I guess in the process of me trying to establish myself as an artist, I turned back and everyone started doing Azonto. Do you know what I'm saying? Right. So, because for me, as an artist, I have to be an artist. People need to understand what I'm capable of. People need to know that I can rap. People need to know that I can switch the vibe. I can slow down the vibe. People need to know that I can make a classic piece of album. People need to know that we can reach the charts. So now I'm fighting a whole movement, which is to change the perception of Africa, which for me was the wider vision. You know, for me, yes, the music was important. Azonto was important. But what was more important for me was for us to capitalize on what we have, which is me fighting a whole different battle where people are seeing Africa as you know, a place of poverty, a place where we don't even have talent. So I'm fighting a whole different war over there, whilst, you know, there's conversation like what you guys are talking about. So I'm fighting a whole different, you know, war over there, and I'm letting them know that, listen, I come to Ghana every December. Why are you guys making a song that's called Do They Know It's Christmas? And one of the lines is, there's no peace and joy in Africa this Christmas. And I'm like, I'm fighting that battle, saying that that's a lie. Like, where I'm from, is the best place to be at during Christmas. And I'm there trying to educate people, trying to show a whole new image of Africa. And that's how This Is New Africa became my movement.
Yeah,
so for me, there was a wider vision that I was already battling. Do you know what I'm saying? As an artist, as well as obviously making the music. And then turn back and, okay.
It's all gone.
I feel like crying, man.
So what was the scene like in terms of platforms that were available to amplify your fight? You know, because today Afrobeats pretty much has got a lot of, you know, platforms that are amplifying, you know, the sound. But then, you know, what was the landscape like? What was the media landscape, or shall I say the promotional music marketing landscape like? That you say that when you look back, you actually took advantage of these platforms to help push the Azonto brand?
It's crazy because what we did had never even been done by any genre in the UK.
Oh, wow.
Because we were breaking down doors at like Radio 1 that nobody had ever done before. Breaking down doors at Kiss FM, Capital, MTV, you know. But I think what made it more special over there was how proud I was. They could just see the pride in what I'm talking about, in me being Ghanaian, because when I came and I saw, and again, I innocently saw the joy on people's faces. All I saw was joy. Maybe Gaz Miller saw war. Do you know what I'm saying? Like him trying to like...
Yeah, he did.
You understand? Yeah. But all I saw was joy and I was sharing that. You know, so I do feel like maybe there's a lesson we could take from it where, yes, we can have fights in our homes, but when we step out, we're unified.
So did you pay to get into these doors, or these were like invitations that had come?
I was lucky enough not to do none of that.
Do that, all right.
Do you get what I mean?
Right.
So, again, it's because we believed in what we were doing.
Yeah.
All right, so we're still locked on with Fuseodg. If you just joined us live on Plus FM as well, and 89.9 FM, and of course on TV, on Culture Daily, on 3 Music TV, you're welcome to the show. We're talking with Fuseodg. Now we're talking, of course, we've just taken our conversations into Azonto, because we needed to understand one of the people, the pioneers, who also helped blow Azonto music and make it, you know, bring that global sensation to the brand as well. We're having the conversations. Later on, we'll be talking with Tizzle, who's also in the camp of Fuseodg, and of course this new entrant who's going through the grooming process. Remember Don Jazzy, even Davido mentioned that if you go into Don Jazzy's camp, you stay in there a lot to get a grind. Richie has said that to us before in our studios. When the guys came in, when this new signees came into the studio, they did mention they've been in there for like a year or two plus, even before they get a chance to come out and go through the right training. Very important. We find out all this from Fuse as well, but let's still stick on the conversation on Azonto real quick. So whilst all this was happening in Ghana, you enjoying the joy of Azonto in the diaspora, how was the support of your fellow artists, Ghanaian artists or African artists in the UK working on this? Did you face any setbacks, or there were people, because you ended up coming back to Ghana to do with the lady,
Tiffany?
Tiffany.
Yeah.
Yes, you did with Tiffany.
Yeah.
How was the support in the UK in terms of artists?
I mean, just like any other industry, every artist kind of feel like they never get support from other artists. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's still happening to this day. But for us, and I always say, me and Mr. Hackett, we always just believed in what we were doing. And we just knew that we just had to focus and just keep pushing and keep pushing. And we became the benchmark for all the other artists, you know, to kind of follow what we were doing, even though we didn't feel like there was enough support coming from them. But again, it's because they were all trying to build. You know, people get into survival mode.
Yeah.
You know, rather than going into like, you know, unity and building, we go into survival mode. It's like when someone gets a job at a place where they've dreamt of, like, they don't want to look back and try and open the door for anybody else. I feel like everyone was in survival mode, trying to build. So I don't blame people for just focusing on them. We just focused on us. Do you know what I'm saying? But I think what we could do better as artists, we should just get out of survival mode. But again, that also needs like governmental support as well, because a lot of artists need that structure where and I'm talking about Ghana at the minute, like where the artists should not be thinking about when their next money is coming from. There needs to be like royalty systems that kind of come into support to kind of allow artists to be creatives, you know, rather than like them thinking, okay,
the business.
Yeah, and it's not productive to always to kind of think like that. So
then you took Antenna to the world again with your feature with Wyclef. Sorry, we're taking you way back. We should be talking current, but this is very important because we've been talking about this for a minute. How did an artist as well like Wyclef embrace this music that you presented to him?
He just heard it and he fell in love. He heard it and he was like, "Who is this?"
Wow.
He's the one that asked the question, "Who is it?" And everyone was just like, "Oh, it's Fuse, it's over there." And he was like, "Yo, I love this so much. Like, tell the DJ to just keep playing this song."
So you see, then the thing was so unique.
Yeah, I didn't even need to speak to him about it.
It was so unique.
He came to me.
The identity you're looking for, 90
days. The thing was so unique because I've seen. I think Davido mentioned that in his new album, he didn't even want to reach out to any American artists on a feature. You know, he wanted to just be his sound. Yeah. And this is a classic example of if your stuff is powerful, it will come to you.
Spiritual,
come
bro.
to you. Yeah.
Azonto
And that's what we need to believe in our culture. Honestly, we need to believe in. And Ghanaian artists, we all need to spend more time together. Today I even messaged Kwame Eugene, like, I just landed in Ghana, let's spend time. That's all I said.
This is what I said.
Let's just spend time.
I got beheaded because this thing about collaboration, it's a touchy subject that we all don't want to talk about, but it's actually killing the industry. Like, everybody is becoming a one-man army.
And let's break it down a bit more with the spend time. I want to understand off the back of that. Spend time together.
Let's just spend time, because when we spend time, we have conversations. Ideas come up. When ideas come up, it materializes into something that can be powerful where we can all benefit from. But it starts with spending time.
You know, before we even get into that bit, I was actually interested in the whole government support structure. I mean, you've had the best of both worlds. You've seen what's out there and what's here. What do you think can be replicated or copy and pasted to make it work for us here in terms of structure?
It's just systems. We just need to build systems that...
Like, what kind of systems? When you say systems, like, okay, have like
systems that everybody follows, because you can create system, but when nobody's following, you know, like, for example, a royalty system where every time a song is played, the station is supposed to actually
log it.
Yeah. That doesn't happen. And I don't know, you guys can tell me, you guys have more experience. Does that actually happen?
No.
Yeah.
It's still a problem.
So, yes. So even if there's a system in place, we all need to just respect it. Again, everyone is in survival mode. You know, everyone's in survival mode where, you know, DJs are just like, they need support. So they're playing who gives them money. They need support. We need to support the DJs so they can genuinely play what the people want. And then when they do that, the station is supposed to do what they're supposed to do and log it in. And then our royalty body, which is GAMRO or whatever, are supposed to monitor it and award it accordingly, because there's a budget that's assigned to artists. And I think for every electronic product that comes into the country, there's like duty that you have to pay. Yeah. And some of it's supposed to go to the creative industry.
Exactly.
All that, it just doesn't make it down to the artist. So we just need to refine the system, and we need to make sure that it works.
So basically, the artists should feel valued in the work they are putting out.
Yeah.
At the same time, representing the country they are from.
Yeah, and I think that the government need to take it very serious, because music is the reason why everyone's coming to Ghana right now. It's not because of nothing else. It's because of music. And our women as well.
Very necessary. Let me let the chat.
I wanted to ask about collaborations, right? Yeah. What is it for you when it comes to collaborations, especially with your music, or even with artists that you have signed on board?
For my career, we were very strategic as to who we worked with, in terms of creating awareness of, you know, Ghana music, Afro beats. So like working with Wycliffe, we knew that was gonna bring a whole different excitement that had never been done before in Afrobeats. And then working with someone like Sean Paul, I felt like it was very important to amalgamate the two cultures, you know, the African culture and the Caribbean culture. And then working with Edsheeran, I knew that again, people, you know, seeing him embrace our culture and speaking Tree would make an impact and have people talking. So we've been very strategic with our collaborations, and I think your collaborations are very important, and it's key that we think and actually choose to work with people that we feel like will help with the culture. One thing that was interesting, I kind of felt like every time I did a collab with a local artist, I felt like the support wasn't. One thing I had a problem with people not supporting Mugis enough, and just me being frustrated. So for me, having Mugis on Brame was like, I said to Ed, like, this guy right here, if he's not on this song is null. You know what I'm saying? Because Mugis is a high life. You crazy, like,
it's a vibe.
You know. So I kind of feel like, and then even when we kind of dropped it, I kind of felt like we could have pushed it more, like even from Mugi's perspective, like, oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying? But I kind of feel like, I don't know, maybe if there's a sense of envy or whatever, like, I just always feel like for our local artists, the support is never, it's not enough.
Right.
You know, some of the stuff that Sarka's done, I kind of feel like people always criticize it rather than, you know, amplifying it. And you just end up losing what the campaign is really about. And there's been some amazing local artists who've done some amazing stuff, but I feel like the support, we don't support ourselves enough. But again, that's a conversation that we can have forever, because I've heard other artists talking about it, you know, but we're here.
How do you think we transition from that? Like, we agree.
We need to spend time together. It's very rare that you see artists in the same room
near impossible.
actually spending time. And that's what needs to change. That's what needs to change. All of us need to spend time so we can build trust with each other, so they can understand the kind of deals that I'm doing. I can understand the kind of deals that you're doing.
Share. Knowledge sharing.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And that's where the problem is.
Hey, what's going on?
That's
That's what the problem is. That's what the problem is.
You know why I'm laughing? Because sharing opportunities, resources, connections, contacts, that's like literally the opposite of the Ghanaian music industry.
Yep.
Scarcity mentality has us in such a box that if I get the contact to Sony exec,
nobody else is getting it.
Nobody else is getting it.
Get it your own way, bro.
Meet you and go, you're working on your project. Oh, yeah, Fuse, here's the contact. No, it's not going to happen. We don't think that way, and it's been day one. From day one, that's what.
Yeah,
but you guys though, I feel like we're being too hard on ourselves at the same time, because really, and I've actually thought about this, and I've even thought about how our parents were brought up. A lot of things, the way we were brought up, we didn't bring each other up, you know. We were brought up by, like, the Western culture. Like, we kind of looked at outside people as greater than us. So because of that, I'd rather go and work with someone outside of this country than work with someone local. But that's because we were not brought up to love and value each other from when we were kids. So I think it's hard for us to unlearn that mentality because of how we were brought up as you know, as a nation. So I think we need to start with the kids. Really, if we're gonna see real change,
we're a lost cause.
Okay. Yeah, if we're really gonna see change, we need to start with the kids, to let them know that this is your brother, this is your sister.
Speaking about,
you need to look out for him. Like you need to share.
Take him along. Yeah.
Share. Let's move together. We need to start with the kids, because it's hard for adults to unlearn. You know, like what you're saying. Like, I've just got a plug. Like, I'm keeping it in my pocket. But we need to unlearn that mentality, and just know that if you share it, you can actually benefit from it.
Yep. Speaking about starting with the kids, how does that play? How did that play into your initiative to start with the whole the Nana dolls, and all that? And then what other initiatives might be in the pipeline with that?
Yeah, so with the Nana dolls, it's the same thing about the child seeing themselves and feeling like, wow, I'm worth being represented. You know, so therefore, like, actually, I should love myself. You know, because imagine a child seeing a Barbie doll that's white. They would want to look like the Barbie doll and bleach themselves until they get to that. Because that's the perception of what beauty is, according to the Barbie dolls and the kind of visuals that these kids be seeing. So for us, the Nana dolls was so important for the kids to be represented, so they could see themselves and know that you are powerful. She's powerful. You two need to like spend time together because you're powerful kids. So for us, we've always kind of been focused on the kids, even the school that we did in Akosombo. And now, what's the most powerful thing that we're about to do is about to happen, and it's called SONA, and it's called School of New Africa, and it's an educational app that teaches us about our history, right, and how powerful we used to be, and how we need to remember how powerful we used to be. But we're doing it with the kids. It's for 7+.
Okay, an app.
It's an app, and what happens is when your child learns about their history, they unlock their pocket money. So every week, if they want to make money as a child, you have to learn about Azonto. You have to learn about Thomas Sankara.
And get paid.
And you get paid.
Wow.
Do you know what I'm saying? You
That
just
makes
get
sense.
your
Unlock
you have to
your
give
pocket
pocket
money.
money to your child anyway. So imagine the child can now learn their history and unlock their pocket money. And that's what we're about to launch.
This is deep.
Yeah.
We're about to launch this end of next month, actually. Really so it's something that we're super excited about. We're building the missions and the lessons, and we're building our own curriculum. Because again, how we were brought up, our curriculum, if you look at history, we never really learn about our history. We learned about the white man's history. And then when we spoke about, when it's our history, it tends to be like slavery, and we don't really, and it's the same thing with Azonto. We don't really talk about our history with pride. When we talk about Nkrumah, I feel like he gets undermined, because of tribal war. Of course, he I don't even know what word to use, he peed off a lot of people. And that happens. We all pee off people. But for the greater mission...
He was a great man.
Do you know what I'm saying? But I feel like because of how we just never embrace how rich our culture is, we tend to forego it. And there's consequences with that. And it's the same with our Azonto. Like, there's consequences with that. It's the same with our history. When we forego our history, there's consequences of our kids not understanding how powerful we used to be. And all they're seeing is war. All they're seeing is poverty. Like, we're not pushing the powerful agendas and the powerful stories for our kids. And that's what this app is about.
Yeah. Tell us more about SONA. This, let's get deeper into it. So how does the system work? Parents deposit cash onto a wallet.
So, yes. So what happens is you sign up as a parent. You let us know how many kids you have. We have family packages. So if it's 2 kids, you sign up. Then you order a card for them as well. So they'll actually have a physical card, like a bank card, prepaid card. So you top up the card. So let's say you put like 100 CDs on the card, and you set a threshold that for every mission that you do, you unlock 10 CDs, right? So every week, if the child do like 2 missions, they unlock 20 CDs every week. But as a parent, you also get to see the kind of
the progress,
the subjects that they're learning, the progress, and you're able to see how they're spending money. Also, you're able to see how they're managing the money that they have, because you're seeing how they're spending it. If you see that your child is just like not managing it properly, then you can have a conversation. So your child is learning how to manage finance from early. As well as learning their history. So it's something that's never been done before.
I'm curious to find out if you've received any kind of government support, maybe from the Ghana Education Service, because I think it's a fantastic narrative. It's a fantastic project that would fix, or bridge certain gaps that we are obviously identifying. Have you been able to sit in meetings with them, and what are their responses to that?
Yeah, so it's almost kind of anti-establishment, because we're kind of going against the usual curriculum. Wow. So they're not the first people that we're going to go to, because they've been doing what they've been doing for how many years? I'm not going to change their mind. We have to be the solution.
It has to be a parallel solution.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're doing this, okay, cool, then let me do this, because I feel like this is the answer. Rather than telling them, change, be the change. And that's what we decided to do, because we were always complaining about the curriculum. Like, why is it that when I'm in the schools in Ghana here, like our history, we're still learning about the white man more than the black man.
Yeah.
Let me ask quite a very sensitive question with regards to this business. Fuse, over the years, has been seen as one of those artists who's been heavily vocal on celebrating black culture.
Yeah.
So you do develop products and things. You get yourself involved in things that always push the black agenda or the Ghanaian agenda. Like we started off with Antenna. I mean, with Azonto into Antenna, the collaborations. You've been very vocal, even against the BET and all that. Fuse has been very vocal with Tina, pushing This Is New Africa. Now we're talking another platform that is supposed to aid another educational app. With all these other entrepreneurial paths you took, they come with heavy setbacks and people who look at it the other way and maybe unwillingly they drag it, or we all drag it back, and then it's like he tried. One of the things I like recently was in one of your videos you shot at with all the Kente. We even played it recently.
The
one with Kwame Eugene.
New African Girl.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a game changer.
Yes, exactly. You know, and these are timeless songs that will always go back to on seasonal occasions like Ghana Month and you know Independence Day and stuff. We'll go back to it, and now we are using it. Yeah. How do you feel about this new business that you're establishing, and what are the doing your own SWOT analysis? What are the things you feel might bring challenges into getting again Ghanaians or blacks to grasp onto something like this?
I feel like if you're a parent, you would resonate with it because you want your child to be better than you. You want your child to be smart. You want your child to be well versed about the world. You want your child to love themselves. And I think when you see the advert for it, I feel like as a parent, if you don't go for it, then what are you doing? Because you just sending your child off to school and then 18 years later expecting them to be like the best person in the world, it doesn't make sense.
That makes some change, yeah.
And it's the same in the UK as well. You send your black kid off to, white school, because most of the time the majority of students would be white, the teachers are white, the curriculum is white. Then you're expecting your child black to now come and look after you. No, I'm working for them because I've been working for them they talk. Do you know what I'm saying? So as a parent, you need to, once you see what we're building, you see the advert, you just want to be part because wow, I can build my child into a leader, a child that will come back and look after me. A child that will come back and embrace themselves and continue to keep my legacy going, because it's all about embracing yourself. It's all about embracing your family. It's all about knowing who you are, knowing your roots, so you can know how to move forward and actually sow more seeds and also, and reap more fruits that will benefit your community. So I feel like as a parent, you just want to be part because it's something that you never had. It's something that we all never had. So for me, that's something I want for my children. So I'm starting to think about my kids now. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm worried about my kids going to school in Ghana. I'm worried about my kids going to school in the UK. So I'm like, okay, cool. Then I'll teach my kids myself.
Okay. I'll teach my kids myself. Touch on something.
Yeah, I just wanted to. I don't know if we could, as we're getting ready to have Leftizo, Feli Nuna was here and she shared some interesting insights with us during her time at off the ground. Since you are here, maybe you may want to also tell us from your side what didn't really work with Feli Nuna and other artists.
I thought it was working.
Well, it's I'm only speaking for the masses. I'm only representing the masses.
I honestly, we've been working for a year.
Right.
That's not long enough to build an artist. It takes a lot longer than that. And I feel like it's just need a bit more patience, and I feel like because Feli's already got, history, I think she just wants to move. Like, Leftizo has been there for maybe 3 years.
Okay.
And we're just releasing Leftizo now.
So
Feli Nuna hasn't got that kind of patience.
Whilst Leftizo was around, or just to understand.
What do you mean?
Leftizo was around when Feli Nuna was still signed. Okay. Yeah. Right.
Leftizo's been out for 3 years.
Wow.
Right? Feli hasn't got that kind of patience. And I can understand that because she's been in the game. Do you get it? And I think I just needed more time. Do can't build a superstar in a year. Like, because I've messaged you about Feli. Yeah. I messaged everyone about Feli. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Everyone saw how much I was pushing. Yeah. The first time a lot of people spoke to me directly was because of Feli. Because I'm like, yo, this is my eyes. You guys need to play her music. Do you know what I'm saying? I just think we needed more time. And she just wanted results now.
So
I can respect it.
So what was the KPI like? You just mentioned that you had signed her for a year. I don't know if that was the agreement.
No, it was 2.
2 years.
First year was making the music.
Okay.
And, you know, just
promoting
getting the catalog. Because she got some crazy music.
Oh, yeah, she does.
Do you know what I'm saying? And the following year was releasing the music. Yeah.
I'm asking this because we obviously saw the success with Tiffany and how, you know, she also became a household name and off the ground. So when she came here and she actually said that it was because certain things were not working out the way she wanted them to do, and the conversations you guys had prior to the signing,
the expectation
not being met, you know. So we have not been in the business of managing an artist. What really is the challenge when it comes to meeting an artist's expectations prior to signing them?
Okay, so as you guys know, if someone releases music, we know it's a hit, but sometimes it doesn't go the way
you want it.
But you go again. You go again. All of us as artists, we've all released music that didn't hit, and we've released music that hit. You just have to be consistent and keep pushing. You can't just expect, and this is for any up-and-coming artist, expect your first song or your second song or your third song to just become a hit. You know, there's so many artists who have been promised, how many songs Promise dropped before Promise actually, how many songs Camido dropped before Camido. A lot of artists, they go through a whole process, and everyone's journey is different. For some people, maybe their first song would hit, you know, but you need to have the patience to keep going. That's all. But I can understand if someone feels like, I want results, like it's not happening. And I think, and that's what happened, to be honest, if we're being honest. But maybe, you know, industry, when you're asking questions, sometimes you have to embellish the answers. And I feel like some of her answers were embellished. Because I'm hearing some of them, I'm like, But we are in the industry.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and she has to protect herself.
That's right.
Do you know what I'm saying? I love her so much. I think she's one of the best. See, I think she's one of the best female artists in Ghana. But it needs to translate. You know, and it will take. It can take time to translate, but she needs to also have the patience for it to happen.
How is it like for an artist to manage another artist? How do you feel that you put your career on hold to make others work? Do you feel distracted, investment-wise? I want to understand the culture.
I think
because D-Black sat in the same seat, also went through the same challenge. Same challenge.
Yeah. I think mine just stems from wanting to see Ghana music out there. You know, that's where mine stems from. I feel like as an artist, I've done a lot. And I just want to see other people also see the same kind of success as well. And I'm thinking, we keep waiting for like people to come and invest. Let's just be the change. That's my mentality right now. So everything has come from me, not no investor. You know, everything's come from me putting my time, my energy, my funds into every single artist that I'm working with. And they can tell you how much time, Feli knows how much time I put into it. Like what you're saying, an artist to an artist, like, you know, I'm never that accessible. But when you're, as an artist, the artist has to have access to you. So me and Feli should talk like every day. You know, and it's very, for me, and that's not normal. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because she's now talking to me like, I'm like, what do you think you're talking to? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's my artist. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's a different experience. But again, it's not because I want to do it. It's because I want to see my people succeed.
Was there a collaboration between you and Feli? No.
There's a song.
The song.
It's not out yet.
We should leak it.
That's the only way it can come out now.
Mr. Hackett, can you do that? Do us honest and.
But what do you guys think of Feli? I think she's amazing.
No, she is.
I mean, I want to ask you guys.
Right.
What did you guys think of the music that she released? You know, like we did Towel.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of that song? I want to hear your. This is market research.
Yeah, okay. Personally, I think it was amazing, but I think it didn't get the enough push. I personally think it didn't get enough push, and also the reception was mixed. You know, because Ghanaians were now focusing on the towel instead of focusing on the strategy of the product.
The promotion.
You know, and so when you are dealing with a market like that, you need to be sure that okay, the sword is double-edged, because Ghanaians would focus more on but perhaps in another market it helps with the marketing strategy, you know. But she said that strategy helped in promoting the music. But from where I sit, I think Ghanaians were more focused on why are you going to interviews with a towel, and you know, of course, you know,
the
conversation was okay. You go.
No, you go first.
The conversation was more around the towel than around the song. Because you guys remember I asked there about it. I think that it took the conversation away from whatever reason. Now, when you mention towel, I don't know if anyone can remember, you know, the song to sing it to you as much as remember that she went around.
So I have a different opinion to it.
Yeah.
I heard the song because of the towel. See? I got attracted. I was not even. I got
attracted, my brother. There was attraction there.
No, hold on. I also heard the song. Because of the towel. I also heard the song because of the towel. But what I'm saying is, so now you don't focus on the song. What's the discussion now, or the conversation now becomes?
So in my opinion, in my opinion, if Feli had released the song without talking about it, like making noise on the towel, I probably would have not heard it, or just not bothered to follow up, because it's not about she being Feli, it's just about an artist. Right. Every day artists are releasing music. Right. I think even last minute I was on his page recently and I realized that he was singing some song I hadn't heard before, but the song is out, and I was like, oh wow. So this song, all right. Example. A lot
of songs go over people's heads.
Yes, and I'll use one of my favorite songs. I keep saying over and over and over again. I've said it, Maven's the Overdose. I hadn't heard the song till last year November, when I was just about to leave for the UK, and then I saw it on a friend's reel, and then she was dancing to it. So anytime I hear the song, I remember her. So for me, I this song disrupted my everyday movements and whatever, based on the A+ and she and all those things that happen. Now the next thing is, if I want to ask whether for me to follow up on the song, that is another conversation entirely, whether I like the song or not. But I know that if you ask me right now, what is one of Feli's releases, and I'm in a place where they're doing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, I will tell you Towel. Okay, forget what that.
So something worked.
At least it created top of mind awareness.
And you're saying that's the reason why you heard the song.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So something worked. And I do think that if we were consistent with those kind of campaigns, everyone would be mentioning Feli in conversations every now and then.
But Fuse, I'm curious too. We also asked the same question. How is it that, or why didn't the team or management take advantage of, perhaps striking a deal with, Cousins, PZ Cousins or something for PZ Cousins?
Who's PZ?
Like a soap production company, a skincare,
skincare.
For Towel?
Yeah, I mean, for where
we did that.
Okay.
We sent packages out to, I don't know if you received one, to, female
or execs.
Yeah, in the industry.
I see you had you were working together with a corporate institution?
Well, no, it's local. It was a local brand that we teamed up with.
Okay.
And they put together a soap.
Okay.
They put together a towel. They put together like toiletry.
Right.
And there was a QR code. When you scan it, it takes you to the symbol.
Oh.
So there was a lot of things that was done around the campaign.
Right.
The main thing that worked was the one that you guys are talking about. So there was so many strategies that was put into place for the conversation of towel to be had. And the toiletry package was one of them. The towel campaign, where she pulls up in the towel, was one of them. There's little things that we did, but we know what really worked.
Right.
Now, I'd love to ask about Brefi. You dropped that song in 2019?
Yes.
2019, right? Okay. Now after
End of 2018 going into
2019.
Year of Return.
Okay. Okay. So you've been trying to, be that link, right?
Yeah.
That connection between the diaspora and Ghana. Having released that song and looking forward or looking back about 4 years, how is the feeling for you like when you see how much people troop into the country, and also because you said December in Ghana is majorly a music thing that brings them?
No, to me, it just lets me know that I made the right decision in turning down everything I turned down in the UK, because I stuck to my guns, knowing that Ghana could be a place where people, even when I'm saying Ghana for a place where you come on holiday, imagine me saying that in 2011. No one, people will be like, what? Come to Ghana on holiday. I want to go to Dubai. You know what I'm saying? But right now, people are coming to Ghana on holiday because I said to them that you need to come to Ghana because if you like this music, and I said that to Ed, if you like this music, if you like Afrobeats, then come to Ghana. That's how you're going to get to soak in the culture. That's how you're going to have a good time. Same way you have a good time in Ibiza, so same way you have a good time in Ayanapa, in Miami, you have a good time in Ghana as well. So for me, I always feel like I'm grateful for believing in myself and my culture, believing in Ghana, because in the UK, they do, I don't know if you guys heard of Band Aid, and what happens is people donate like $2 or £2 a month for like a village in Ghana or a village in Liberia or a village in Nigeria. I said no to that campaign, and I said no, I'd rather people come on holiday and spend 20,000 in a week. Because when you come and you're splashing your money, same way you go to Miami, people spend hundreds of thousands in Miami. They don't give $2 a month to people in Miami. They go and invest. They actually spend their money and also invest. So for me, I already saw the vision that if we package and brand Ghana for a place where you can come and have a good time,
investments will come.
It follows.
Okay.
And that's what's happening. They're doing girls trip in Ghana.
Yeah.
Because they know it's a lit place to be associated with. And because we branded it like that. People like Michael Blackson getting his house here and building a school now is because of what I told him that, bro, you need to come and spend time in Ghana. You need to come and this is where you're from. And he came and he had the best time of his life staying with me. Then he was like, Fuse, I want to get a place here. And he didn't just get a place, he built a school. Yeah. Instead of just him just being like, oh, what charity can I donate to? What do you mean? No, come to Ghana, and build for yourself. And when you're doing for yourself, you do for others.
Does Edsheeran have a house in Ghana?
He wants to. Actually.
He wants to. Push him.
He's got the Ghana tattoo on.
I saw that.
And we'll in 3 minutes we'll be introducing Leftizil into the studio. But let's quickly talk about you raised Edsheeran. We had Edsheeran through you. We also had Edsheeran through you. Other counterparts also had Edsheeran through. I mean, whoever got them. But why didn't ours Edsheeranize?
Just to add to what you're saying, in 2019, Will Smith called you the king of Afrobeats. Yeah. You also went to head Seychelles, Maiden Afrobeats Festival in Seychelles. Yeah. So that means that period, that year, we were onto something. So what happened?
Edsheeranize.
It's the journey. That's just how the journey's going. And for me, if we're talking about me personally, my journey was supposed to be like this. There's certain decisions that I made that put me in a position where I can say to people, this is Sona. Because they know it's coming from a genuine person. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like I can never look back and feel any type of way. I can only kind of be proud because I feel like I've positioned myself in a way where I can spend time with my people in Ghana. We can have real, honest conversations. And I can also go back to the UK and have real, honest conversation. And that's very special for me. There's no artist that has that. There's I can go and I can see Gaz Miller right now as we talking about the whole Azonto thing, and it'll be love. Do you know what I'm saying? And there's many artists that cannot do that because they haven't been so genuine in their journey. They've just thought about themselves and just, do you know what I'm saying? So for me, there's a lot of decisions that I made that as an artist, maybe it's not the best decision for you as an artist, but as a person who believes in himself. And I feel like my journey surpasses music.
So do you feel fulfilled now? Because
1,000%.
Go back to the Sheeran conversation again, because I feel like we had Edsheeran.
It's not Sheeran for you.
You brought Edsheeran.
We still have Edsheeran.
No, I mean when I say we had, I mean like he was on our land.
Yeah.
He did collaboration.
he stayed here for
a minute. He sang a song, a whole song. Intrigue. I mean, we had all these things. So what I don't get is, so where did we not get it right to be able to also use all these collaborations and sustain, and also brag that
yes, maybe.
Yeah, because this is Edsheeran I'm talking about. This is not.
It's a tough one. Because when Ed came, I made sure I invited every artist that I knew. So every artist came to the ODG mansion and they were spending time with him. Mr. Easy came, Joey B. Everyone was there. Even some artists I didn't even know before because they were up and coming. They all met him, and he loved every single one of them, and he heard their music. Ed was like, Joey B, at that time, Me and You was his favorite song.
Yeah, wow.
And he said that to Joey B. Do you know what I'm saying? So sometimes you can only just do your best, present the situation.
Yeah. So you have to take advantage of it.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? So
Jay sad.
You see what I was telling you yesterday? You said
you and I, we need to talk.
It be Ed in fault too.
Ed
did not try.
Ed loved Ghana.
I'm just saying.
Trust me, Ed is always open. Like he loves our culture.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Ricky, relax. We're about to talk about leftism. We're going to spend the next 100 hours talking leftism.
We can talk forever, because it's been a journey.
He's in my ears like, oh, Charlie, leftism.
Cool down for us.
Ricky.
Ricky.
Yo, Ricky.
I can't believe Olele responded to French.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Ricky talks in my ears way too hello.
So the man leftism is live in the studio. So now Ricky can breathe.
Mr. Kiki.
A superstar, yeah.
Mr. Kiki is in Mr. Kiki. Solid record.
What's up, bro?
Cool.
Are you also hurt by the things we are hurt by as well? That like we didn't do certain things, or
he's not in pain. You are alone.
I'm alone in pain.
You're
Leftism, welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
I want to understand how this collaboration came about. In terms of when I say collaboration, not necessarily a song though, but the relationship.
Yeah, I remember this day. Me and Showers were in the studio.
Are we talking about the song or are we talking about the journey?
Journey. Yeah, I'm talking about journey. Like how
we connected.
How you connected with Fuse.
I remember one day it was trending on Twitter, like support underground.
It's a hashtag,
trending. Yeah. So I saw upcoming artists posting their content. So I saw Fuseodg tweet that all upcoming artists should post their content. Yeah. So I saw it, and there was this song that I had recorded. So
let me have you push the mic up a little bit so they can hear you. Yeah.
All right, is it okay?
No, a bit more.
There you go.
All right, so I did mine with the hashtag support underground and tag.
What did you do exactly?
It was this song Fasa. That's the title of the song. Though.
Yeah.
It was more like cover. Yeah, so I did, and with the hashtag and tag Fuse. So after 15 minutes or so, my DMs was buzzing like, yo. So that was when I realized that I was selected. I was part of the 5 who was selected that night. So it was crazy.
Who got in touch? Was it Mr. Hackett or Fuse himself?
No,
or someone from the team?
At that time, the team.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the team.
When was this?
I think somewhere 2019, December.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Wow.
It was a while ago.
So you signed him that year? Or he had to go through like a process?
We had to go through a whole process. There was like 5 artists.
Oh, 5.
4 or 5 artists, yeah.
5 then.
And just the whole process of like developing them, and even Manifest came to talk to them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it was like an incubator kind of thing.
Yes, yeah. And we actually have this on record as well. We filmed it all, and they even got a call from Edsheeran.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
To talk to them about
Mad.
Hey, bro.
talk to Edsheeran.
Well, you not disclose all this info.
Yeah, he will start talking soon.
What were some of the? Well, he's mentioned Sheeran's conversation. I want to know some of the highlights of this incubation. You know, the whole time when you were in there, some of the things you've picked up, because we are very key on understanding the wealth of knowledge of an artist in it's the business and you know, like he said, artist development.
Yeah.
I know some things. Sorry, it's like a school though, but we're asking test exams. yeah. Like
It feels like
things that you've picked up. You know, it's very important that people need to understand this.
Yeah, so when I go to the mansion of Fuseodg first time, yeah, we're just vibing. You know, I met a couple of producers, Lex, Wood. They were amazing. So we had sessions. We recorded a lot of songs that day. But we didn't know. It came as a surprise, though. Fuse were like, yo, you guys come over. So we went into the studio, and Ed was live like that. So it took like 10 minutes before I was able to say something because I was surprised.
Everyone was quiet.
They were not expecting to see it.
Yeah, it was crazy. So we asked questions though. But what I asked was about as an artist, upcoming artist, what to do to be consistent, to stay relevant in the game for long, because you know we've had a lot of artists who came with just one hit and they were nowhere to be found and things. So I needed to ask that question to, help myself. You know.
And what were some of the responses he gave with regards to that?
Like he told me to focus on my music and just be positive all the time and keep working harder and harder.
Yeah, Ed is so simple, man. Yeah, but it's easy for him to say that.
I know, right?
I'm
just watching you, like, you make it sound like, focus on the music.
It's not like you're not doing that.
Yeah, you need to work hard. So that was the most important part.
So you're currently signed to ODG. You've been through the process. Obviously, the label has some kind of expectations. But for you as an artist, what are you looking at, or what have you looked at for?
Can I just say that? I'm nervous for my artists right now, guys.
What?
I'm like, Left Tunnel, don't let me down.
It's the hot
we're testing the media training. It's good. It's better we have you here. If you pass here, look my face. If you don't pass here, it's like I'm like, bro.
I'm just watching it. I'm like,
do you watch our show?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So after here, you're safe. You can go anywhere, bro.
If you go anywhere,
let's make it short for you. After here, I love that. After here, you can go anywhere.
So that's what I'm saying. Because not too long ago, before you even came here, we were talking about FeliNuna and expectations and blah 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 blah. But for you, you've been there. You've trusted the process and everything. They've given you a contract. You've looked at it. What are your expectations? So that a year from now, you can come back and say, Bossu.
Yeah, me expected too much. I just want to work hard. That's where the focus is, because I feel like whatever we're doing right now, if we work hard, it's definitely going to pay.
No, you are working hard. That's what we get. You are working hard.
He's asking about milestones.
But
so you want to get an album, you want to have a charting song, you want to get this, you want to get realistic ones, so that boss man knows the budget.
So that
what you want to achieve.
Yeah, I want to achieve a lot. Like, I have amazing songs coming. And we're planning on the EP too. But for now, it's all going to be the singles, about the singles, yeah.
For what purpose? To introduce you into the game, officially get your name in the mix, or you want to achieve huge milestones now?
Huge one.
When you say huge one, some people want to top that top 100. No,
I want to hear this as well.
Some people want to top the 100. They want to
top. Try to help you.
Some people want to top Apple Music top 100 Ghana charts. For them, it's a big deal. Some people want to be on Billboard. Some people want to be on Jimmy Fallon. So, what are some of the expectations you have? I mean, you are working with one of the biggest in the game who has seen it all, right? So, obviously, not to covet what he's done, but I'm sure you have your personal desires. So, if you could just walk us through so that we can hold you accountable.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I was happy. I mean, when I was watching Sound City, and my song was like 7th. For first entry, it was 7th. Then last week, it was like number 5. Wow. So I was happy. So this is the kind of process I want to enjoy. So I want to see my music everywhere on Apple Music, topping charts, billboards everywhere, because we got a lot of stuff coming.
It's specific now, yeah. It's measurable.
I just want to enjoy the process for now.
You were being Ghanaian in the beginning.
Yes, he was.
I want to. By God's grace, that's small. No, we don't want to hear none of that, man.
I love that. That's the energy that we need.
Put it in the world.
Yeah. Watch out for Leftizo.
But I mean, it's good. I mean, like an association with the Fuse, I personally see that as a very good opportunity because this is a very experienced. I mean, he understands the process A to Z. Hey. You know, so feel free to chip it in. Let me come now to Kiki. Let's talk about Kiki. Let's talk about the song. Now you're talking about the making of the music. Tell us about it.
Yeah, amazing song. One of the best songs right now. Yeah. Big shouts to Showers for that amazing
Showers.
He produced it.
But Showers from Tema, right? Yeah,
yeah.
That guy is.
What is Kiki about?
Yeah, fake girls, this church.
I don't know. Tell me.
Because everybody knows Kiki. Yeah, everybody.
Who is Kiki? Please
Yeah,
understand that some of us, because of certain associations.
Then you're a church girl with freaky vibes and bad vibes and good vibes.
Okay, so it's a Gen Z. It's a Gen Z thing.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm just a vessel, man. I'm just a vessel.
Oh, so you say Kiki is somebody who's very criff.
Yeah, basically
like criff.
Yeah,
that's what we call it.
Oreo vibes.
Oh,
criff, but the inside
but to me, I wouldn't even. My I guess translation of Kiki is actually I wouldn't say criff. I would actually say a real Christian.
Yeah,
we are flesh.
Yeah.
But you know what people
We are flesh.
my producer says I should tell you that we shouldn't talk to you again.
It's more entertaining to hear
Yeah. So what were you talking about in the music? I just want to understand the creative direction. Yeah.
What,
You're an amazing songwriter.
should I sing or you wanna?
You have to speak up for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know about the song, I was like, welcome to a jungle. She's ready to mingle.
I can't hear you still. I can't hear you.
I saw you girl, Kasa. Yeah, Memo. Talk to us.
You see the way I make quiet. If I start school questions, you'll be tough for you.
Welcome to a jungle. She's ready to rumble.
Okay.
She could turn any man for your handle. Your under.
Okay. Yes.
She will show you, say she be bad.
Okay.
You feel me?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the first line I use, the beginning of the song.
Did you okay, maybe I don't think you understand what Jay is saying.
Yeah.
Normally artists get inspiration to put in lines or records or whatever. Is it based on the true life story?
Yeah.
Is it based on a movie you watched, or was it based on vibes? You went to the studio producer Shaxi, right? Showers played a record of like, let me string some 1 or 2 lines. Or you actually went through a songwriting clinic sort of, and you were able to put these things together.
Yeah, before it was recorded, I had heard a lot about these kind of things. I mean, about the girls with their freaky bad side. Their freaky side.
The church girls with the freaky bad side.
Yeah.
Great.
So
Was this the only version? Did you rewrite? Was there any?
Yeah, that's the question actually. Yeah.
I did the first verse with the chorus. So beginning, I felt like this song could be controversial.
Okay.
So let me send to Fuse. Make it listen before, because that was my first time. I've not completed the song, but I sent to Fuse because I normally finish, then we do listening session later. But this time around, like I needed Fuse to listen to this one, so it was sent to him, and Fuse threw like fire.
Pass the button. Just pass the button now. Pass the button. So when he sent the song, now the first verse was just so explicit. I said, "Hey, Charlie." Charlie, it's for Ghana. I said, you know what? This is what you should, because on the chorus that he was actually saying something else on the chorus. But I'm imagine if it's a church girl that does everything that you said in the first verse. And that's when the whole song changed. Yeah. So then he re-recorded the chorus, and
I mean, this is an artist that brief here just into
Right.
COVID, into 29 year of return. So you can understand that he's very business with the lyrics. He has to make sure that the song it has to work with the setting so that everything is masterminded. So I get it when you when you look at it.
And that's why I want to find out from him that obviously it's been the first quarter. We've not really had a big song yet, arguably from Ghana.
So why are you saying we've not really? We've not. You're saying we've not really.
You guys are so harsh.
Well, my headmaster said we've not had a big song yet.
Correct
But
me.
Kiki is the best song in Ghana right now.
So that's what I want to ask him, because earlier we talked about realistic milestones, right? Do you think? Because I love Kiki, and I think he has this earworm effect. Like when you're in the bathroom, you can just be singing it. You don't even know you're singing it, right? Do you think you could just slot into that space and have Kiki become that song that we should look forward to come summer, come December?
Yeah, I believe.
Because now there's no champion. So
Because
the throne is empty.
It's empty.
We had last year's champions have not come out this year.
It's there for the taking.
So so what are you looking to do? Obviously, this is part of your media rounds and everything. But for you as an artist, do you see it?
Yeah, everything is lined up with my team. We're working hard to make sure that the song is everywhere. We're not yet done, so that's where the focus is, and that's one of the reasons why we're here today. So
question: have you guys heard the song outside?
So to me, this is actually the first time I saw
I have
chance.
heard
Really, you
it.
too?
I have heard it. I actually first saw it on the internet. Yeah, that was the first time. So I was
He
wondering
lives online, so.
So I was actually, the first question I asked was, is he Ghanaian? Because he didn't sound Ghanaian to me.
It has a world-class vibe, yeah.
He didn't sound Ghanaian to me. So
But he's
when I
very
also
Ghanaian,
heard
the Kumasini,
so when I also left Tizzle, I'm like, maybe I fused in the crowd for the beef. Land
Tizzle, no.
Tizzle, no, come on.
So shout outs to the team for branding and packaging the
Do you
product.
do you have any key collaborations that people that you would definitely? I mean, the year is still young, but this year, who do you think that no matter what, I'm getting this guy on the record? Give me 2 names. Don't even mention Nigerian name for you. I go take the 2 more you for you.
Let's get on this answer.
I really want this one to be a surprise.
You want to be a surprise?
Yeah.
That means you've already done it?
No.
I want to.
Okay, then
But I don't want to talk about it.
No, but if
You know that I have favorite artists that I really want to work with. And I'm
Such
looking
as?
forward to working with.
Bro, give me one name. Few says we're doing a remix for the song. We need one Ghanaian. Who do you think we want on it?
From an artist perspective, as
Time
a
they
creator,
go. You dey jam for me.
Kwame Eugene.
Mention the name.
Sack.
You want
Sack.
Sack on it?
Okay.
So,
Okay. That's a big name.
you've heard it, right? Did you write it?
It's a lot of pressure.
Have you written it down?
I've written it down.
See, Fuse getting sacked no problem. Like,
No problem. No, man, show my views.
like for push your boss harder.
Why you guys do this?
This is being diplomatic.
that
That's why we are here.
I'm so glad you guys have given me measurable milestones.
Like if I can
This
get
is gonna
some.
go home and watch the thing again.
I say, zero, like if I tell them, say, if I get some Cardi, like,
But yo,
some Nicki,
I'm
like,
gonna
no
lie.
bad.
Sark could be one of the hardest people to get, because
Yeah.
that guy just goes. He's a real guy. If he doesn't feel it, he'll tell you.
Straight.
You understand?
Straight.
So for me, he's actually one of the most expensive artists for me to even approach, because I feel like it's easy for me to go to someone outside and gas them, let them know like, yo,
Yeah, it's big, just be on it. Yeah.
and they'll just do it, But for me, approaches
Needs to be real. The vibe needs to be real.
He's been supportive too. Since
This
we dropped
is a
Kiki.
political answer. We can get Sark on there if we want. We will all put pressure on Sark.
Sack, please.
Sark,
Mike.
do it. Hashtag Sark, do it. But if we cross over to the other side, then the independent artist thing is put aside and label conversation are coming in. It's so difficult. But anyway, look, bro, I wish you well. And trust me, after your 3rd, 4th hit, when we bring you back in the studio, now some of the questions we ask you, you walk out. You get on me and walk out. Like, why do you ask me these questions? Is that coming for you to ask me how I'm going to make it?
Interview who's sit next to me. So that I won't have to shout.
Future, last words with us. Leftizzle, we feel you so much. Great music as well. We're here to support you, all day, every day. Thank you so much as well. I told you that, like, when I saw the face, I was like, you When you have history. It's all
patient.
good though. Yeah, it's all patience.
Hey, you see that? Stay patient.
Stay patient.
Patience, that's it. That is it. Patience. That is it. Few last words before we wrap up here.
Man, I just want to say I've enjoyed having this conversation with you guys. I wasn't expecting it to go that way. I wasn't prepped for it. I didn't have the media training for this kind of conversation. But I'm glad we dived into the history of, Azonto. And
we had to appreciate you.
What we could have done better and things like that. But the journey's still here. The journey still continues. Let's continue to support each other. We've got the app coming up, School of New Africa. Check out when it comes out, an educational app that teaches Black history and African languages in a gamified way. Left Tizzle, my new artist, Kiki, is out now. Go and stream it.
Yeah.
It's very important that we support our own. And that's what we're doing right now, man. Kiki, to me, honestly, is the best song in Ghana right now.
Go stream it.
Go and stream it. Share it with your friends. Just enjoy it, man. But yeah, big shout out to everyone that's already supporting Kiki so far.
We've been asked to give you 60 seconds to share.
Yeah. So if it's the first time, Kiki is out there. The video is on YouTube. You can stream on all digital platforms everywhere. And follow my socials like Leftizo on IG, Snapchat, TikTok, everywhere. Leftizo.
I'm doing that. All right, thank you so much. Our time is fast spent, but of course, now if you use ODG, we can't finish the conversation in just, wish we had extra hours here. But anyway, we are back here again, same time tomorrow, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Culture Daily. Name is Jay. One more time, thank you so much. Cyril,
Headmaster.
Apiti. I like that.
It's
gone.
that
was deep. Yeah, that was deep.
Yeah,
and we are out.